Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Read Option. I am Wyatt, and today, pitching us his favorite book is my good friend Dylan. You may know him from The Bachelorette. You may know him from the Batchmakers Fantasy Football League. And you may know him from the jersey that's about to be in my rafters. The only reason I would have a Green Bay jersey in my studio. Dylan, thanks for joining today. How you doing?
Hey, go pack, go.
Dude, I'll cut that. I'm just gonna bleep that, like it's a slur. Um, Dylan, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you hopping on. What book are you gonna pitch today?
Oh, fuck, I forgot the name of the author.
I can look it up for you. What's the book?
The name of the book is called Tell Me Everything.
Tell me everything.
I
Okay.
just okay, so how I found this book. It was maybe a year ago. I was on my iPad and I was looking for a new book to read, and I've never like checked out the Apple Books app or
Yeah.
whatever. And this book was part of Oprah Winfrey's book club, and so I was like, I'm gonna read that one. So, and then I ended up really liking it. So,
Okay. It's by Elizabeth Strout.
yes, that is her
Okay.
name.
And so, when did you read this book?
About a year ago, probably.
Okay. And how would you? What's like your relationship with reading? Are you reading something every day? Are you go through phases? What's how long have you been reading? What's your kind of relationship with it?
I think growing up, I was a big reader. I read like pretty much everything. I think my favorites were, of course, like Percy Jackson, a lot of sci-fi. I read, like the Kane Chronicles, like that Rick Riordan, like pretty
Yeah.
much the entire catalog. I read it all pretty much. Um, but yeah, I would just read random sci-fi, like fantasy and adventure books, and then I think sort of as I got, how you have the mandatory high school books
Hmm.
after you got past that English class where you didn't have to read anymore. I like kind of fell off a little bit. Um, but I would pick up a book every now and then. I recently, the past few years, have been like reading like kind of like the self improvement books, which I really like. I know some people like to hate on them, but like
Yeah.
they're they're good. They're good to just like, oh, think about it. Like what am I doing? What could I be doing differently? That type of thing. But um, this book that I read recently was kind of a change from my trend of reading like self help books.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay, this is a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. I think I have a very similar like experience where I read a lot growing up. Similar, I read a lot of Percy Jackson. I was big like Mike Lupica, the sports books, that kind of stuff. And then once you're forced to read, again, as a kid, you're just like, I don't want to do this now. This isn't fun anymore because I'm not choosing to do it. Even though some of the books we read in school, I
We're-
probably could go back and read and enjoy now. But
yeah,
because there was an adult telling me to do it, I didn't enjoy it. So I've been
yeah,
trying to get back into it. I've started this show and other shows where like I want to engage in that community a little bit more, and I'm still figuring out what I enjoy. Like I really, someone asked me, "Oh, like what kind of books do you like?" I'm like, I don't really know. I haven't read enough recently to like know what genres I like. So,
yeah.
what, gen- where would you put this book? What kind of genre?
It's like I don't even know where I'd put it because it's not like a rom. It's like murder mystery kind of, but like not. That's not like the sole purpose of the book is not murder mystery. It's like exploring people's like lives and like what they may be, what they feel like is missing from their life. So it's like that's plus murder mystery. So whatever that genre is,
Yeah,
maybe I don't even know
yeah.
what would you put that in?
No, I know exactly what you're describing, and I don't have a good word for it because, like, and this sounds like a book I would like because I struggle with books. So I'll say this: I just read Verity,
Okay,
and I
I want to.
know a lot. I want to see the movie. That's why I read it,
Okay,
and I know a lot of people love this book. A lot of girls love this book.
that's a Colleen Hoover book, right?
Colleen Hoover. It's my first experience with Colleen Hoover, and I know it's not for me, and it's like a entertainment level that just doesn't entertain me. It's just like sports movies. Like some people, this is made for you. That wasn't made for me, but it's still engaging enough. I need something that I like not learn from, because that would be like a self-help book or like autobiography, like history book. That's not really it. It's I want something to grab onto and like wrestle with a little bit more. I don't just want like a popcorn movie or a book that's just like, oh, that was engaging and interesting. I want to be able to like learn something more about me as a person. Like I just read Tuesdays with Maury for the first time. I don't know if you've read that. Um, Phenomenal book. You can read it in like 2 days too. It's a quick book, but it's this guy who interviewed his old professor who's dying every Tuesday for like the last year of his life, and he's just giving life advice, and it's
That's cool.
so profound. And that's I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that book, Tuesdays with Maury.
Tuesdays with Maury. Okay, I'm looking
Highly
for that.
highly recommend it. But it's like that. It's an interesting story, but also I feel like I can learn something and grow from it. This book, what is the premise? Like, what's the setup? Going in chapter one. Like, what's the environment that I'm walking into?
So pretty much, so the I kind of jumped into this book out of order. So the author kind of sets up the world with these characters that she's written books about before. So this is kind of a continuation story of those characters. So now you don't necessarily need to read those books before, but maybe you'd have a better understanding of the character if you did.
Okay.
So pretty much the book is pretty much held between two women. I believe it's Olive and Lucy.
Okay.
Lucy is a reporter. Olive is just a gossiper. Like she just likes to talk, right? And Lucy is like very interested in what Olive has to say about like all these different things, right? So she just is yapping about like her husband, people in the community, and then it kind of like it takes place at a table, but like the stories you get into the stories, and then it like um, pretty much the chapters are about the people that she's talking about essentially.
Okay.
So it's like it's one story, but it's through the eyes of many different people.
Gotcha. So it's
Yeah,
like just a conversation that explodes into different stories, and then you just live in
yeah.
those stories. Okay. Interesting. And then who would you like? Who's the intended audience for a book like this? Like, is this something you're recommending to a certain demographic, a certain age group, a certain type of person that would get the most out of a book like this?
Um, I think it might be best for people who are just curious about like if they're what they're doing in life is something that is meaningful. If they have questions or doubts about maybe their path or their career path, or even the relationships they have with people, I think this would be a good book for you. Just if you're curious about what people who come from, broken homes, ghosts living in relationships with ghosts in them. If you're curious about like what advice those people have for you, then I think this would be a good book.
I'm seeing a theme. So like the people who have been on this show before are all around our age, like the same age, and it feels like the books that we really hold dear and like our favorite books are ones that are helping navigate like this period of life
Mhm.
where I've had these conversations recently where once you're out of college, it's the first time where you're not in the same phase as everyone else around you in
Yeah,
life. And it's so disorienting at first because, like, you have some people who are married, some people who are single, some people are engaged, some people have kids, some people are still in school. Like, it's the first time you're experiencing that, so it can kind of be isolating. So
yeah.
then it seems like people are gravitating towards stories that help you feel not alone in that pursuit of like what am I doing with my life, and b help you navigate that, like how do I approach this next level. So
I,
interesting.
yeah, I would agree. Like, I think like the major themes in this book are like loneliness, or like just trying to tap into your emotional like just state of being maybe in that transitionary period, and like just human understanding I think is like another big one
Yeah.
in this entire book. So
Oh, sweet. You're a year out ish from reading this book.
yeah.
What specifically, if there's a character or just a moment, and you don't have to spoil anything, but what sticks with you still? Like you think of this book, where does your brain go?
My brain goes to this one character, and most of the story is revolving around this one character. His name is Bob Burgess, and he is a he's in the police force. So he's the one. Uh, when you get to that part of the book, I mean, it's a pretty central part of the book is the murder mystery part. He's the one kind of investigating and whatnot, but he's also married, and he I won't spoil who he is talking to, but he's talking to some woman who he's been friends with for a while, and he questions. He's like, "Hmm, like, should I have? Did I make the wrong decision marrying my wife?" But they're just friends. But he has like this profound way of like going through the emotions because it sounds like he's living with ghosts in his marriage. His marriage is not perfect, but he comes off as like a gentle, a compassionate, emotionally vulnerable character, and so I think that's what makes me relate to him in that way. Not that I'd be trying to cheat on my wife, but just the characteristics of the man. I think I relate to. So that's where
Yeah.
my mind goes.
Okay. Yeah. And I love books and movies and just stories that ask questions that just kind of sit with you a little bit. Where I literally just watched the drama with my roommates. Like I finished it 20 minutes ago. Um,
How was that?
it's phenomenal. It's the second time I watched it. I was watching with them. I saw it in theaters.
Okay,
Um,
I haven't
but
watched.
I won't spoil it. But it literally it asked a big question of like, what would you do in this situation? So it's like I like books and stories that ask questions. You're like, all right, how would I respond in these situations? So, okay, good. I'll have to check this out. Now, what are you reading anything right now? And does it compare to like did this launch you into a certain type of genre or books that you've sought after reading this, basically?
I haven't found another book quite like this, but I have read one more book
Okay.
since then. Um, and I mean, I was just trying it out. It was like another. I kind of just went back to my roots and
Yeah.
went back to like Greek mythology, and it was like this book about Greek mythology. And I thought it honestly, it was kind of a bad book. Not gonna lie, it was like it just wasn't really well fleshed out. But I read that in like a night or something because
All
I was
right.
just like, but no, I went to the bookstore a few days ago and I was looking for a book. I think I want to read. I think there's a book by Anthony Bourdain, kind of
Yep.
about his travels and like advice and like life stuff. I think so. I think that's the next book for me. Um, I think it kind of fits in the realm of like this book in
Yeah.
terms of like learning something maybe about yourself or about the world that you can relate to.
Yeah.
So,
You have to let me know how that is because I'm really excited. There's a movie about I hate to keep going back to movies because we're talking about books
I
here,
love movies.
but there is a movie coming out called Tony about Anthony Bourdain. The director is arguably my favorite working director right now. His name's Matt Johnson, and I'm very excited because I don't know anything about Anthony Bourdain. I know a little. I mean, like what I just see come across my feed, but I have never really investigated his life too much. So if the book's good, I may try to read the book before that movie comes out. So you have to let me know. So now I'm
All right,
forcing you to go read that book.
all right. I know. I will definitely read the book. Trust
There
me.
you go. Now you have homework. All right, sweet, Dylan. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking about Tell Me Everything. If anyone listening has a book, or if they've read this, let us know what you think. If anyone listening wants to pitch a book of their own that they think is interesting, leave a comment, shoot us an email. It's down below. And yeah, we'll go from there. But Dylan, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it.
Of course, man.